For this video, I'm a packaging consultant for Kellogg's cereals. I'm going to discuss any packaging problems or complaints customers may have, but I will also discuss positives of the current packaging. One common problem is trying to open the plastic bag inside of the box. It is either extremely hard to open or the bag rips. When the bag rips, cereal pieces fall down to the bottom of the box. The rip in the bag then makes it harder for the cereal to stay fresh. I know for me, sometimes I'll have a cereal box and the rip does occur, and when I go to throw the box away after I finish using the cereal, I find those pieces on the ground or on the bottom of the box, and they are indeed stale. So, there are a few suggestions I have that would make consumers' experiences more positive. The first suggestion I have is to create a plastic bag similar to that of a Ziploc bag. This would make the bag easier to open and close, but also would protect the cereal from becoming stale. Another idea is to create a package that peels open and shuts back, closed, similar to that of Oreo cookies, how you've got the little pull tab, and then you can close it back up, and then your cookies are nice and fresh for you to eat, and they last a lot longer. The third suggestion I have is to have a plastic bag with a serrated edge at the top, similar to how some loaves of bread, they have the actual bag that the bread is in, and then they have the bag with a little twisty tie on top. So the bag that's inside of the one that has the twisty tie, that's the one that has the serrated edge to keep it all together and keep it fresh. So if you were to have a packaging that had that type of style, the consumers could still roll the excess plastic down into the cereal or into the box to keep it fresh. Out of those three options, I personally would prefer the Ziploc bag option because I think that it would just contain it more, and it would be a whole lot easier to take the little zip tie and close it and then open it. Another complaint I could think of is when you try to open the box, the little flaps on the side, those tend to rip, and then it makes it a lot harder for you to close it back up. I think maybe the reason why the sides can rip is because either the glue is too strong or there was too much glue that was used. A couple of ways to try to change this is either have a stronger cardboard or maybe use a less tough glue or not use as much of the glue. I understand that each situation is different, so it all depends on what Kellogg's would be willing to try out. But I know sometimes there's other variables that can cause the box not to close, or say you get it from a manufacturer and the box got all crunched up from being in the truck, and so some of those things can make the box not as secure. Now I'm going to talk about positives of the current packaging. One thing I appreciate is how the expiration date is on top of the box. That way it's easier to find. And the print of the expiration date is usually clear and precise and is easy to read. I really appreciate this because I've bought some goods from other companies where it's almost impossible to find where the expiration date is. And so you'll be searching all over the box and you're like, I wonder if it even has an expiration date. And so you're kind of skeptical to open it up if you haven't used it in a while and you're afraid that maybe the product's no longer good. Another thing I like about Kellogg's cereal is how some of them have recipes on the back of the box. These recipes show other ways to use the cereal, such as for desserts or other snacks. Take for instance Kellogg's Rice Krispies. This cereal is very common for the Rice Krispie treats that you can make, and it's really neat how they have the recipe on the back of the box, And that way, I think Kellogg's, in a way, it's a good way for them to market people wanting to buy that cereal, because they want to have Rice Krispie treats, and so they'll more than likely buy the Kellogg's because it also has the recipe on the back, so then you don't have to search on the internet, it's right there in front of you. In conclusion, I hope that Kellogg's would consider some of my recommendations that I have about making an alternative plastic bag inside that would be easier to open and close, but also would keep the cereal fresh. But I also hope that Kellogg's continues to do what they do well.